This is a short video to explain some of the basic features of the CMISgo timetabling software. Okay, so this is a web-based piece of software, so if you open your web browser, I think it works in all web browsers, log into Muse and click onto My Services here at the top. Now, once you have used this, and it's under the title of Room Bookings, it will appear over in the right hand side under your sort of frequently used services. But the first time you have to click on View All Services here. Click on that, go to Room Bookings, and you've got choice current academic year or next academic year. Click on which timetable you want to look at, which at the moment, on the, what we did today, 12th of September, we need to click on next academic year to see the coming semester. So we click on that, and this is the sort of default CMISgo web page. And I'll just say a little bit about, firstly, what CMISgo is. CMISgo is a timetabling piece of software which the university has adopted for a number of years. It's part of the timetabling policy, so it's very much mandatory. It's not an optional system, and this is what the university uses for all of its room bookings. But it's also available to students, and that's something really important to bear in mind, that in whatever format we choose to give our students information about timetabling and about lectures and events, bear in mind that students can always see CMISgo, and really CMISgo needs to be the kind of primary place for information. Okay, so I think as module leaders, it's just important for us to make sure that if we are giving out timetabling information in, for example, a Google Calendar, or perhaps just in a list, in a module handbook, that it needs to be accurate and consistent with CMISgo, because otherwise students will have potentially two different timetables, which is confusing. Okay. You open CMISgo, and you've also got a day-by-day timetable here. At the top you can configure that day, week and month. And apparently if there are any events scheduled at weekends or out of normal hours, then the view that you get will expand to show that. So although it would appear that you can't use weekends on the system, you can, as long as there's an event scheduled in it. Okay, I'll try and speed up a bit here. Important button here for staff, this one up on the right, toggle timetable list. Click on that, just a slight delay there, and this then brings you another menu which shows all of the timetabling events that either relate to you, so have your name scheduled in that event, or any events that you have added to the system. Now, I have to say, it's quite frustrating. Every time you open CMISgo, it will remember the programs you've added, but it always maximizes them. And I find that a real pain, because I end up having to do this and to minimize all of those programs, so I get to the point where I can then kind of start to see what I'm doing and selectively choose to see a program. Okay, first time you go in here into CMIS, all you're going to see is my timetable up at the top there. If I just scroll forward there a week, you see an event there which is in my timetable. So if you look there, it's a lecture, it's got my name against it so it shows up in my timetable. Now, what you then will probably want to do is add programs and modules for all the other parts of the school that are relevant to you. And I'll show you how to do that now. Now, I've already added some here, but I'll show you how to add another one. So click on the Add button here. You can filter by module. I generally find it's easier if you add the complete program, then that will bring all the associated modules with it. Click on Filter Course by Department, and then you have to wait for a moment. Okay, got the search engine, just type architecture and it will find School of Architecture. Filter by category, I'm going to add a postgraduate taught program, and then search for the course. And this is where you need to add the program code. You can't put, well, you probably can put the name actually, but generally if you know the program code, that's probably the best way forward. And let me try adding this one, ARCT 142. Click on that, click OK. Yeah, and if you see there, that program has now been added to my list. You can toggle these on or off, clicking the little tick box here. If you maximize them, you can selectively toggle on or off individual modules within that program. Okay, you can delete them, so I'm just going to add that one that I deleted on the little bin button. You do have to remember to click Save every time. And so once you've got all those programs in, you can then use this as a way of cross-referencing. If you're looking for any clashes, for example, you can switch on whichever programs you want and look across the week or the month and see where things are perhaps clashing. Okay, so that's the sort of basic principles of how to use the system. There is a help button up in the top right. You can use that as well. I'm not going to show you how to book rooms here. This was really just how to kind of view your timetables and how to add programs. The other thing to bear in mind is that students on your program, as I said earlier, will see the same thing. So here I've just switched on the architectural design program, and if I switch off my timetable here at the top, then this is what your students will see. So it's a good way to just check that the information is correct.